you to the second day of the FCI European Dog Show 2023, the Agria Winner Show 2023, and the DKK European Cup Winner 2023 here in Herning. As you know, the dog is man's best friend. We can all agree on that. Let's also agree to treat the dogs as our best friends, with care and respect, and with the dog's welfare at heart. No rough handling, no leaving the dogs behind in cages, plenty of space and water for all the dogs.
All the dogs.
And please help keeping the venue clean at all times. You can get feedbacks at Dansk Kennel Klub stands, so there is no excuse for not keeping the area clean. And now for the practical details. There are more than 70 trade stands present at this show. You can find them in halls C, G, F, and M. The main ring is in hall M, which is a very, very large hall, and this is where the finals take place. Those who are going to participate in the finals have to go to pre-judging before the finals, and all the pre-judgings take place in hall G. The Dansk Kennel Klub stands are in hall C and in hall M. The two main sponsors of the Dansk Kennel Klub are Royal Canin Dog Food and Agria Pet Insurance. Their stands can be found in hall M by the main ring. In hall M, you also find the show veterinarian, the diploma stand, the stand for entertaining children, and the Dansk Kennel Klub information. The show catalog and the results can be found at the EDS website and at the DKK website, only a few clicks away. For more than a decade, it has been customary to start the DKK shows with a smile and a song. This month is a special celebration of the European Dog Show. Welcome and glædelig, welcome. Hundefolk, Exposan, Dog Friends. Dejligt at se jer, med sol som chanté. Happy to see you, we have Christmas Day. Welcome and glædelig, welcome. Til EDS at EDS to EDS. Let the judges begin and have a wonderful day.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome here to the main ring. We have a packed program today. We will start with Sarah, that's going to talk a bit about voluntary handling of dogs. And then afterwards, Canine Biathlon is going to be here with an amazing show. Later today, we have Karina Hornsyn. She's a veterinary nurse that's coming and talking a bit about dog fitness, how to keep your dog in shape, basically. And then we will end up with having a lot of different dogs coming and showing dog tricks, and a bit about what the different tricks can do, both mental and bodily and so on. So, but first of all, welcome to Sarah.
Godmorgen. Jeg vil simpelthen snakke på dansk, fordi at, det er det, jeg bedst kan. Men jeg vil snakke lidt omkring frivillig håndtering. Og grunden til, at jeg har valgt, at jeg skal snakke omkring det her emne, det er fordi, at vi har jo rigtig meget håndtering, når det er sådan, vi udstiller vores hunde. Så jeg vil snakke lidt omkring, hvad kan vi egentlig gøre for, at hunden er helt med på det her med at blive håndteret. Yes. Så jeg vil lidt omkring, hvad håndtering er. Hvorfor kan det være svært for hunden? Hvad er frivillig håndtering egentlig? Og hvad nu, hvis det bliver til en negativ ting? Hvad gør vi så? Så vil jeg snakke en lille smule om, hvordan man træner det. Men jeg har en halv time, så jeg kan ikke komme alt for meget ind på det. Yes. Hvad er håndtering? Håndtering, det er alt det, som hunden skal. Alt det, som vi vil have, hunden skal gøre. Det vil sige, det er negleklip, det er dyrlægebesøg, det er børstning, det er bad, det er dækken, det er halsbånd, det er sele, det er tandbørstning. Altså rigtig meget af det, vi skal til for at kunne udstille vores hunde. Alt det, vi skal gøre med vores hunde, for at de er velplejede, for at vi kan have dem som vores familiedyr. Yes. Så det er altså alt det, hunden skal. Alt det, som vi har fået en idé om, at hunden skal. Vi gør det jo for hundens eget bedste, men det er noget, som hunden ikke ved, at det er for dens eget bedste. Der er mange hunde, der kan synes, at det her det kan være svært. Fordi det jo lige netop ikke er deres egen idé, at de skal have klippet negle, eller at de skal til dyrlægen, eller at de skal børstes, eller udstilles, eller hvad det kunne være. Derfor så er der mange hunde, der har fået det lidt svært med det her med at blive håndteret. Så de kan have fået en eller anden form for traume. Det kan for eksempel være ved negleklip. Hvis det er sådan, man er kommet til at klippe for langt på neglen, sådan så at neglen er kommet til at bløde helt enormt meget, så kan det være gået hen og blevet et traume for hunden. Det kan være lyden, for eksempel hvis vi skal blowe vores hund, efter den har været i bad, så kan den her lyd fra bloweren være rigtig svær. Det kan være rigtig svært med lyden fra negleklipperen eller fra neglefilen. Og så kan det helt generelt være følelsen af, at der er noget, vi skal, som vi ikke har en kontrol over. Det her med at miste kontrollen. Fordi når det er sådan, vi mister kontrollen, så er det noget sådan helt intuitivt ved alle individer, at det bliver ubehageligt, fordi jeg har ikke kontrol over, om jeg skal det eller om jeg ikke skal det. Og dermed så bliver det også sådan en for vores side, at det er bare noget, der skal overstås, for det er jo for hundens eget bedste. Så vi fortæller os egentlig selv de her historier om, at det er okay, og vi bare skal have det overstået, for det er jo for hundens eget bedste. Men det kan altså blive ubehageligt for hunden. Der er forskellige metoder, vi kan gøre det her håndtering på, eller vi kan håndtere vores hunde på. Vi kan tvinge vores hunde til det. Det er meget den her, det skal overstås, så at vi holder hunden fast metode. Så kan vi lokke hunden til det, eller også så kan vi frivilligt håndtere hunden. Hvis vi tvinger hunden til noget, så er det altså, at vi har det her mindset om, at det er noget, der skal overstås. Det er noget, vi skal have gjort, fordi det er for hundens eget bedste. Hunden skal altså vaccineres, fordi det er for hundens eget bedste. Hunden skal altså i bad, for vi skal altså til EDS, eller hvad det kunne være. Så det er ofte fordi, at vi ikke ser noget andet alternativ. Vi ser ikke en mulighed for at kunne give hunden en eller anden form for valg, fordi det er altså noget, hunden skal gøre. Vi kommer dermed også til at udskyde det til sidste øjeblik rigtig ofte. Så for eksempel, hvis vores hund ikke kan lide at få klippet negle, så gør vi det bare i morgen. Så gør vi det i morgen. Så gør vi det i morgen. Så ender neglene med at blive så lange, at det kan være rigtig svært for hunden, fordi at de også har gjort lidt ondt, de her negle, eller at der er lidt for mange filter i pelsen, fordi vi har udskudt det. Og så bliver det en træls ting, fordi det skal gøres, fordi det er blevet så slemt. Så derfor så bliver det noget, som vi har udskudt, og måske kan tiden være en faktor, så vi lige pludselig er travlt med at få det gjort. Men det kan også være det her med, at det er blevet værre, så derfor er det noget, der kommer til at tage længere tid. Og så er det, at vi kommer til at tvinge vores hunde, måske holde dem fast, og så bilder selv ind, at det er for hundens eget bedste. Vi kan også lokke hunden til forskellige ting. Det er ved, at vi prøver på at betinge noget, sådan så vi prøver på at gøre det til en god ting. Det gør vi ved at proppe en godbid foran snuden på hunden. Vi kan bruge en slikkemåtte, eller vi kan bruge en tube makrel, eller hvad det kunne være. Det vil sige, at hunden den bliver fastholdt i sit instinkt. Den bliver altså holdt fast på sådan en madmagnet. Og det vil sige, at hunden faktisk lukker af for rigtig mange andre instinkter. Det, der sker i sådan et tilfælde, det er, at vi kan lokke hunden med ind til dyrlægen, og så synes den egentlig, det er helt fint, fordi makrel, og den går efter makrellen, og det er super fint. Men lige så snart vi så holder op med at lokke, og den opdager, at den er kommet ind til dyrlægen, så tænker den, nej, du har snydt mig. Og så mister vi faktisk noget på relationskontoen. Vi mister noget tillid hos vores hunde, fordi vi får den til at gøre ting, når den ikke lægger mærke til det på grund af maden, så får vi den til at gøre ting, som den egentlig ikke havde lyst til. Så det med at lokke, der kan vi rent faktisk med meget madglade hunde miste noget i relationen og miste tillid i relationen. Men så kan vi altså også frivilligt håndtere. Frivilligt håndtere, Det betyder, at vi lader hunden selv bestemme, om den har lyst til at gøre det, som vi skal have den til. Det kan vi gøre ved at indlære et sprog hos hunden. Vi kan gøre det ved at træne det her håndtering rigtig godt, sådan så at hunden ligesom lærer, at det er en god ting, og at den faktisk har ansvaret for selv at få det gjort. Vi lærer altså hunden et sprog, og det er relationsopbyggende, og vi skaber tillid i vores relation. Vi kan se det som noget kvalitetstid, vi har sammen med vores hund. Som sagt, så er det et sprog, vi lærer hunden. Vi indlærer hunden et start- og et stopsignal. Det kan være ved at indlære den et hagetarget, som I kan se på billedet heroppe, hvor at hunden har sin hage på en skammel. Og når den har det, så må vi godt børste, klippe negle, kigge ører, hvad det kunne være. Men når den fjerner hovedet, så må vi ikke. Det kunne også være et kindtarget eller et potetarget. Hvis det er sådan, vi skal have klippet negle, så er det lige så snart hunden fjerner sin pote, så stopper vi med det samme. Så hunden altså får en måde at sige nej tak på, i stedet for at den bliver tvunget til, at den skal gøre det. Så det kunne altså for eksempel se sådan her ud. Jeg tror måske, her sådan. Altså det her hagetarget, hvor hunden ligger hovedet, og når den har lagt hovedet, så må jeg godt kigge i ørerne, men når den fjerner hovedet, så må jeg ikke. Nu er hun en meget vims fidus hende her, så hun kan godt være sådan lidt, men hun fryser faktisk på sit target og giver mig lov til at kigge i hendes ører. For vi har trænet det her rigtig meget, det her med, at hun skal ligge hovedet, for hun har skulle have dryppet rigtig meget øjne, og så har det her, eller ører, så det her har været super smart at kunne lade hende selv bestemme, hvornår hun vil have dryppet de her ører. Så det bliver altså en relationsopbyggende ting, fordi hunden finder pludselig ud af, hov for sulen, jeg har muligheden for at sige fra, og du lytter rent faktisk til mig. Og dermed bliver det noget, hvor hunden skaber noget mere tillid, og faktisk tør at gå med lidt længere, fordi den ved, hvis den går de par skridt ekstra, så har den også mulighed for at sige nej tak. Vi kan se det altså som en slags kvalitetstid, noget vi kan bruge en masse timer til. Vi kan sætte en dårlig serie på, og så bruge tid på at træne det her op, så vi aldrig går længere, end hvad hunden egentlig giver os lov til. Det vil altså også sige, at her i starten kan det tage rigtig, rigtig lang tid at få trænet det her op. Men det er altså noget, vi kan se som noget, der også bonger ud på indkaldet eller på gå pænt i snor, fordi vi får en bedre relation. Og så snart vi har en bedre relation til vores hund, så bliver alt andet træning altså også lettere. Så hvis det så er blevet til noget negativt, så skal vi altså have trænet det her op. Og så kan vi køre nogle forskellige metoder til at få trænet det her op. Vi kan køre udslukning, hvis det er sådan, at vores redskab, det som vi skal bruge, børsten, negleklipperen eller det at røre poterne, er blevet noget træls. Hold fast, jeg er jysk. Træls. Nå. Hvis det er blevet noget irriterende noget, det her med at negleklipperen bliver fundet frem, så kan jeg begynde at tage min negleklipper med rundt. Det kan være, at jeg sidder og ser fjernsyn derhjemme, og så har jeg negleklipperen liggende på bordet derhjemme. Og når jeg så skal på toilettet, så tager jeg bare lige negleklipperen med mig, og når jeg kommer tilbage fra toilettet, så tager jeg negleklipperen med tilbage. Sådan så jeg egentlig går rundt med negleklipperen derhjemme hele tiden, så det bliver en helt naturlig ting, at negleklipperen er der. Jeg kan også lege små lege med min hund og med det her redskab. Det kan være, at jeg lærer min hund at dutte på en børste. Så bliver det bare noget sjovt, vi leger med. Og dermed er der allerede puttet noget positivt ind på det her med, når jeg finder børsten frem. Så bare det, når jeg finder børsten frem, så kommer min hund løbende, for så skal vi lege den der sjove dut-leg med børsten. Jeg kan også lave en masse tricks med min hund. Hvis min hund har svært med det med neglene, så kan jeg lave en masse gipote-tricks, for så bliver poterne lige pludselig til noget positivt. Og så har jeg puttet noget positivt ind, og dermed givet mig selv et forspring. Nu kommer jeg måske til det igen. Ja. Sådan. Jeg kan også betinge de her redskaber. Det kan være, at min video går ikke i gang. Sådan. Det kan være, at jeg lader min lille hvalp spise en kong ved siden af en negleklipper. På den måde så forbinder min lille hvalp, at når jeg finder negleklipperen frem, så er det bare noget mega positivt, fordi at den er altid til stede, når der sker noget positivt. Det er, hvis det er sådan, det er en neutral ting. Hvis det er sådan, at det er, altså man skal tænke på, at hvis jeg har en hund, der har svært ved at få klippet negle, så er det sværere at lave det til noget positivt, end hvis jeg går fra, at det ikke er noget svært. Så det er lettere at lære en lille hvalp at få klippet negle, end en hund, der har haft en dårlig oplevelse. Yes. Vi skal jo selvfølgelig have børstet vores hund, have vores hund i bad og have den til dyrlægen og alle de her ting, imens at jeg træner det her frivillige håndtering op. Og der kan vi altså imens lokke vores hund. Men det, der er den vigtige pointe her, hvis det er sådan, at jeg skal bruge lokning, imens at jeg træner mit frivillige håndtering ved siden af, det er, at jeg lokker hele tiden, imens jeg gør det. Så hvis det er det her eksempel med dyrlægen, at jeg skal lokke min hund ind til dyrlægen, så bliver jeg nødt til at lokke min hund hele tiden, imens den er inde ved dyrlægen, sådan så den ikke stikker snuden op for den her makrel og tænker, hold da fast, du har brudt min tillid. Eller at jeg gør det hele tiden, imens jeg børster, sådan så at jeg måske har en slikkemåtte, så jeg kan blive ved med at blive belønnet for at ligesom, lave det her, og være i sine instinkter hele tiden. Ja. Når det er sådan, at vi har lokket noget, imens vi træner frivillig håndtering, skal vi huske på, at vi nok går et par skridt tilbage i vores træning, og vi skal altså lytte på vores hund, når vi starter træningen op igen. Det her var jeg lidt inde på før, men der er altså forskel på aflæring og indlæring. Så hvis det er sådan, at jeg har en hund, der har været skræmt for at blive børstet eller for at komme til dyrlægen, så er der snak om aflæring. For vi har en negativ følelse, vi skal have vendt til noget positivt. Og der kan det være, at vi skal gå i gang med noget betingning. Det her med at lægge negleklipperen ved siden af, at hunden spiser eller noget i den stil. Det kræver enormt meget tid og tålmodighed at kunne vende noget fra noget negativt til noget positivt. Men det kan altså godt lade sig gøre. Men der er også blevet trukket rigtig meget på relationskontoen. En relationskonto er det, vi har til alle, vi har i vores liv. Jeg har det til kameramanden, der står her, som jeg egentlig aldrig rigtig har hilst på. Jeg har det til mine gode veninder. Men til kameramanden, der kan jeg måske ikke sige så meget sådan, du er dum, uden at han måske vil tage det for nært. Hvor til mine veninder, der vil de måske se det lidt som en joke. Fordi han kender mig ikke så godt, så jeg har ikke en stor relationskonto til ham, som jeg har til mine veninder, som jeg har haft i flere år. Så den her relationskonto har vi altså til alle individer, vi har i vores liv, også til hunde. Og den her relationskonto kan man se som sådan lidt en bankkonto, hvor vi sætter noget ind på, når vi laver noget positivt. Vi trækker noget fra den, når det er sådan, vi laver noget negativt. Og hvis det er sådan, vi har tvunget det her håndtering igennem hele hundens liv, så har vi altså trukket rigtig meget på relationskontoen, og dermed trukket rigtig meget på tilliden. Og det er noget, hunden kan huske hele dens liv. Så det går hurtigere med at få mistillid i relationen igen, hvis det er sådan, at vi har gjort de her ting. Og skulle indlære noget fra starten af, altså hvor vi ikke snakker aflæring, der går vi altså fra noget neutralt til noget positivt, hvor at vi gik fra noget negativt til noget positivt før. Så der er vejen ikke så lang. Det kræver selvfølgelig også tålmodighed, og så kræver det optimisme. Det kræver rigtig meget optimisme. Og vores mindset i det er, at det godt kan lade sig gøre. For har vi et skeptisk mindset fra starten, så kan det godt være, at hunden adopterer det skeptiske mindset. Når det er sådan, vi træner det her frivillige håndtering, så er det en god idé at tænke på, hvordan træningspassene er bygget op. Så vi har nogle korte træningspas, så vi ikke laver sådan noget maratontræning og tænker, nu skal jeg træne frivillig håndtering, jeg har sat aften af til det. Nej, det er sådan noget 2 minutter der, 2 minutter der, 2 minutter der. For ellers så bliver hunden for overvældet af det, og så bliver det for voldsomt for hunden. Det er også godt at køre sådan lidt flettemetode, så man laver noget, der er svært, noget, der er nemt, noget, der er svært. Det kunne være, at det var rigtig svært med det her frivillige håndtering. Men så kunne det være, at hunden fik lov til at løbe efter sin bold og komme tilbage med den og aflevere den, og det var mega nemt, og så lavede vi lidt frivillig håndtering igen. Fordi det, der så sker, det er, at hunden tager den glade følelse for den gode øvelse, altså det at aflevere noget, med ind i den frivillige håndtering. Så kombinerer vi det der, det er svært, med en sjov legende følelse, så går den sjove legende følelse altså hurtigt over på det her, der er svært. Så kort, effektivt og sjovt skal de her små træningspas altså være. Det kræver tålmodighed. Sådan en kæmpe tålmodighedssat. Det kræver at have ro i maven, og sådan den der hyggelige følelse. Lav det hyggeligt for dig selv. Tænk over, når for eksempel du skal lære din hund at være i bad. Hvordan står du? Forstår du lidt træls, så kan hunden godt mærke, at du har det træls. Så kræver det også, at vi har tillid til hunden, når vi tør at give noget af det her ansvar fra os. For vi siger ofte, at vi samarbejder med vores hund, men vi skal egentlig samarbejde med vores hund. Vi skal arbejde sammen. Vi skal give hunden noget ansvar, og vi skal putte noget ansvar ned til hunden. Så det kræver rigtig meget af vores state of mind. Så kræver det altså også tillid. Fordi med tillid kommer empowerment. Og empowerment, det er altså den her af, wow, så du hvad jeg kunne, mor? Jeg fik klippet en negl. Var jeg ikke mega cool til det? Fordi får hunden den følelse, så skinner selvtilliden ud af den, og så vokser den altså med opgaven. Så giv den medbestemmelse, og giv den lov til det her samarbejde. Der er mange forskellige ting, vi kan frivilligt håndtere, og her er bare et lille udpluk af dem. Men jo flere ting vi træner, jo lettere bliver det at træne flere ting. Så det kan sprede sig lidt som ringe i vandet. Yes. Så det handler altså om processen, en investering. Det er en kæmpe investering at gøre i hundens liv. Vi skal have de her hunde i mange år. Så det er altså en investering, vi giver, hvis vi træner frivillig håndtering. Det kræver samarbejde, og det er kvalitetstid. Så det var det. Tak fordi I gad at lytte med.
Okay, at 9:30 we have the next show, and I hope you're ready for a show, because they're gonna bring it. It's Canine Biathlon, so I hope to see you there. So there is time to go get some coffee or something to drink, and then we will be right back. Hello and welcome again. We are ready for the next show. We have Canine Biathlon that's here to show us what are Canine Biathlon and how is it done. So, bid a warm welcome. Værsgo, Lotte. Take it away.
Can you guys? There we go. Good morning, Herning. Good morning, Europe. We are from Canine Biathlon for All, and we are here to give you guys a show and rock your world. Let's have some fun. Join us down at the main arena now. I got a whole bunch of people outside waiting for us. Let the show begin, and let's do some craziness. Come on, guys. First of all, we got to build a course. Normally we do between 2 and 10 kilometers. That's not quite possible today, but we built some special obstacles for you guys so that you can get a feel of how all of this works. So here we got some crew going on. They're bringing in about 6 different kind of obstacles. What we are going to show you can be compared to agility, but the thing here, the little trick is that everybody has to go over the obstacles. That means both the runner and the dog. Therefore, we need big, big, big equipment. Outside Hall C, we have a huge obstacle course where you can go out and try with your dog. Yesterday, we had people that had been showing their dogs in the main arena here, having a fun day out on the course. We had people in pink outfits, small shoes, palliates, everything, and they gave it the world out there. So, now, normally we have show dogs in here. I have seen big poodles. They don't normally do obstacles, but what's that? Sorry, were you doing shows in the big arena today? I think you went the wrong way. You're not supposed to be here. Sorry. You're supposed to go to the show, right? Oh, you have a big poodle. Oh, and he's in champion class. Oh, well, okay. Well, while you're here, why don't you just go around for a bit? She just told me that's a multi-champion. Give her a big hand. Let's just see that poodle run. Woohoo! All right, you guys. Hey, come on. Stuff happens. At Canine Biathlon for All, anything can happen. And we just got to wing it sometimes. So, well, guys, are you getting ready up at the starting point? Sorry, I can't hear you. Oh, you got some trouble up there. Okay. Well, Morten from Sports Timing. Morten, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm coming here.
Great. Hey, give them a big hand of applause. They're coming in. They're going to do the timing. Hey.
Hello. Nice to see you.
Excellent. That's my co-speaker.
Hello, Herning. How are you?
Hey,
fine?
Hey, Herning.
All right.
Woohoo! Oh, you know what? I forgot the harnesses. Oh, no. Oh, Celia, are you out there? Non-stop dog wear, are you out there somewhere? Celia!
I'm coming!
Oh, yes! Oh, great, beautiful! Oh, thank you so much. Did the flight go okay?
Yeah.
Oh, and you got the stuff with you?
I got one harness with me.
Norwegian Airways aren't
Yes.
striking anymore?
Yeah.
They're not striking anymore?
Yeah.
No, so they got here. Perfect. Excellent. All right.
something.
And I do believe my husband is here too. Oh, he's right over there. He flew in from Riga. Excellent. So we got everybody lined up. Now, I need to ask you guys a couple of questions. Because, Morten, you've been with us for quite some time now.
Yeah.
You know everything about dogs there is to know.
Yeah, that's my big passion. That's for dogs. It started about 6 months ago. I got my own dog. Before that, I didn't even know a clue about dogs. And then you hired me to speak this show with you guys tonight. And first of all, I don't know anything about dogs, especially not in English. But I'm going to do my best, and so far, I'm just trying, okay?
And we're going to have a ball.
We're going to have a ball.
Celia.
Yes.
You flew in from Non-Stop Dogway all the way from Norway.
I Lillehammer, Norway, yes.
Yes, I need to know, why is it important that we have the right harnesses on our dogs?
The right harness makes a big difference for the dog's movement. We have, well, I can start with this one. It's a new harness we developed for obstacle races, but also for hiking in the mountains or the hills. I guess we have hills in Denmark. Our focus in Nonstop is to make harnesses that give the dog free movement. That's nothing that's going to hinder its normal movement.
Also, it's very important for the safety part, because some of the obstacles that we are building, the dog is able to fall down, and you need to be able to get a hold of your dog. Very important they don't have a normal collar on, so we don't choke the dogs. So all the way through, safety, 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 safety goes first. And next, fun. Fun, fun, fun. This is about having fun with your dogs. That is an absolute must. Now, I need to hear my crew. Are you guys almost ready out there? I can see the first guy starting to come in. I'm hearing a go. Yes, yes, I believe they are ready. Here we go. The Danish OCR Union. Here they go. Philip and Emil.
And
Let's
here,
give them a hand of applause. They've been out there running for about 8 kilometers. They did the long haul. Now they're in the finish line.
and as you can see here, guys, we have two gentlemen. We have Emil and we have Philip. Normally, these guys are doing the OCR races, like Nordic Race, like Ultra, like Reborn, but now they all can do these OCR races with their dogs. We have on the fence over here, we have Emil with his Siberian Husky, and as you can see, Emil is an elite runner, normally with Nordic Race, and here he can try to do it with his dog.
It's okay, go around.
We also have Philip in the blue shirt. He has a German Shepherd, and he and he's doing these courses very fine so far. And these guys are very, very fast. Normally they do a 5K under 15 minutes, so they can also have this fun racing with their dogs.
A very good example with the harness, with the Husky you had over there. He was a bit scared of the new obstacles. These dogs have not tried these obstacles before, so this is very new to them. That's why everything we do, we consider the dog first. Dog first, safety first, then fun. Okay, so if the dog doesn't want to, that's all right. They do a detour and they continue running. Next up out there, we have Mike and Camilla. Give a big hand, it's okay, it's okay. Give a big hand of applause, here they come. This is Team Dacia. And Mike, who loves dogs, probably has the most calm dog today.
It's called
He's
Dacia.
doing really great. He has a perfect Husky.
Yeah.
Look at them going.
I'm so impressed, Lotte. I've never seen such an obedient dog.
No, he's very obedient. All goes well. Just look at him going there. Look at the golden retriever.
And it's called Elsa.
Oh, that's Elsa.
Yeah, like the Frost movie. So it's a very, very, very nice dog. You see that with their Lotte.
And also, this is actually also Elsa's very easy. Yes, good girl. Excellent. Give him a big hand. Mike, you just keep running. Mike said, I'm not going to do this because I can't run, but look at them going. That's okay, Elsa. That's okay. Camilla, you just walk around. It's all right. This is also Elsa's first time on this course. She's been doing Canine Biathlon for All for about 3 years. But this is a new handler, new obstacles. Look at her go there. She did great. And let's see if she can go on up there. That's all right. Easy girl, easy girl. It's okay. It's okay. If she doesn't want to, you go around. Let's see if she wants to. This is her first time on that too. Camilla, you just let her go. It's all right. It's all right. Excellent. Give him a big hand of applause. 6-year-old Golden Retriever Elsa. Next up
is Jon. He's coming with his 2-year-old Shepherd. Come on, Jon. We're looking forward to see you.
And this is from this is called in English. But it's not the army. It's called Hjemmeværnets Hundetjeneste.
Oh, the home guard.
Sorry?
We call it in English the home guard.
Yes, the home guard.
Yes.
And here we look at that. Easy boy. This is actually one of the really difficult things to do, because when you put a dog up in a wheelbarrow and they have to go around, everything is moving. Therefore, that gives us a little bit of, how do you say, you need to be patient with the dog. All right, easy boy. Easy boy, there we go. Perfect, let's see how he does that. There's footballs up in that. Sometimes the dogs won't leave again because they're going to get all the balls. Yeah, look at that, he took the ball. That's exactly what happens sometimes. Perfect example. And that's why we love this. Yes, we got the music going. Give them a big hand of applause. Let's see if they can do the last obstacle. Here we go, guys. Perfect. Has to lie down. Co-driver has to get on. Yeah. Let's see how they do. We can give them a little drum roll. Come on. Woo! And they managed!
That was
How perfect is that? Next up, out there, I see
we have
Nico
and
Eva.
Bring on Nico and Eva.
You can do better, Herning. Come on, let's get this show on the road.
And this.
Okay, well, why not?
These 3 persons here, 2 persons and 4 persons, 4-legged dog, they have just been married, these 2 guys, Nico and Eva. And Eva, she is a personal trainer, and Nico, he is a rescue guy, and he also used this dog for rescue. It's a 7-year-old dog called Macer.
And that's a Malinois.
And as you can see, this is also a sport for couples. These new married Nico and Eva, they do this for fun together with their dogs, so it's a very good example of what K9 also can bring into a relationship. Besides dishwashing and bringing up children, then you can also have fun with your dog.
And also, this is a great way of showing that you... Look, one more ball, here we go. And it's a great way of showing that in this sport you are allowed to run multiple runners with one dog. Not the other way around. That means you're not allowed to run with 2 dogs and 1 runner. And that is for safety. Always safety first. But look at these guys having a ball.
And I think, Lotto, I think we have a new record today on the track here, because these guys were very, very fast.
Oh yeah, give them a big hand. We have a new record.
Nico and Eva. And Lotte, we can also, before the next entrance, we can say that when we do the K9 biathlon in real life, we have a special chip on their chest, so we can register their time when they start and they finish, and we have a result, so the fastest couple will team up as number 1 on the result list.
Exactly. One of the other things that we do, so that we're sure everybody can join, is we have walking routes and we have running routes. We have 3 different distances. We have a short, a medium, and a long run. And that way everybody can participate. And that is the perfect example coming in now. Now, this is so important and special to me. This is Mona and Mona, our seniors. One Mona is 79 years old, the other Mona is 63. Look at these ladies. Isn't that special? These guys are amazing. They take it their own way, and that's perfectly fine. Yes. Also, if you can't do an obstacle, that's exactly what Torben is telling them, then they have to do a detour. And look at these ladies. Mona at the end, the blonde lady.
That's a Tavarian dog,
Yeah, that's
Mona.
a Tavern.
A Tavern,
yes.
yeah.
And you have a K9 Terrier in the back. Mona did her first race last year. Actually, she just came by the race and said, what's going on? And we talked to her about it, and she said, I have to join up. So she was number 300 in that race, and she loved it. She didn't bring any changing clothes, so she was completely muddy and wet once she was done, but she just adored it. So it was awesome. This year, she's joining again. In 2 weeks, we have a huge race, Morten.
Yeah, we have a huge race in your background, close to Give, in the center of Jutland. And so far, we have nearly 800 participants for Saturday. So you have opened up for sell tickets for Sunday. And it's an open race. We have starts from 8 in the morning to 8 in the evening. And it will be like these obstacles the whole day. And we will have music, great fun, great speak, and of course timing on the couples when they do the track. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be great. And Non-Stop Dog is going to be there?
I'm going to be there, so if you need a harness for your dog or a belt, we're there.
That's actually,
I'm
in the market because I'm participating. My daughter is participating, but we don't have the gear for the running, so you can help me.
I will help you. No problem.
Everybody can join, and that also means that we have Non-Stop Dogwear with us down at Hall C, and you're able to come down there and try on a harness and fit it so that you can join the race. Well,
let's give a big shout out for the.
Let's give them a big hand of applause.
Yeah, the two Monas, excellent.
Now we have. Oh, we got one Mona. That's all right.
Wait, Lotte. We have to see if Mona is doing the. Of course we do.
Mona doesn't give up.
And Lotte, I have to be honest, I don't remember the race of the dog for Mona.
It's a cane terrier.
Cane terrier.
A cane terrier.
Scottish
we have
terrier.
everything
a Scottish terrier.
From the Chihuahua to the Grand
And look, they are doing so fine over there.
Look at that. Excellent. Every dog can compete. The only thing we have is an age thing because the dog has to be developed. So on the short routes, the dogs have to be at least 9 months. And of course, you have to consider what this dog is capable of. So responsibility is a big thing here also.
One last hand to Mona. She has finished the course.
Give her a big hand. There we go. Now we have the family reign. Here they go, mom, dad, and 2 daughters.
And this is also a perfect example of what this sport can do. You see, you have mother, father, 2 daughters, and 4 dogs. They can compete together, and they can control each dog. It's so fun. And actually, I have to mention that these guys, Claes and Katrine, mother and father, they have been on the podium for several races in K9. These dogs are very fast. They are called, it's a border collie. We have Claes here with his border collie. And it is so fast.
Stille og rolig. Easy, easy. Easy, girl. Easy,
and in the front, we have Katrine.
Fantastic.
Katrine is 50 years old, and she has a border collie as well as her daughter. Sarah, sorry, that's the 2 first dogs is border collies. And you can see how they are doing the races here. They are so fast, these girls, with their dogs.
Easy, 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 easy. And again, this is the first time for Sonia on these kind of obstacles. Sonia is 11 years old. The golden retriever is 11. The girl is 7. And again, they need to do all of this with new obstacles. At our races, people never know what they're going to see, what the kind of obstacles they're going to meet. So everything you have to consider what the dog is capable of. Sonia, the golden retriever, that's 11. Has been doing this for a few years now. Olivia, 7. She is doing her 5th race this year in 2 weeks.
Lotte,
and competing in the cup.
I have to ask you a question because I saw Claes was giving some goodies for the dog.
Yes.
Is that a good idea if you are participating?
Absolutely,
to bring
goodies are allowed.
Goodies are allowed?
Yes,
All right.
and the reason that the Eurohound is not participating in the obstacles is that the Eurohound is only 6 months old, so he's not allowed. But it's the first registered Eurohound in Denmark, and it's going to be the first both Canicross and Canine Biathlon dog. So this is very special. And it's a really good idea to take these dogs out so they get environmental training, they see social training, all of this. Oh, sorry, that's only a puppy. But here we go with the veteran.
And I have to tell you, Olivia is only 7 years old, and she's doing this track with the dog here.
Yeah,
With
and also I want to tell you that Olivia, who's 7 years old, also is becoming a junior handler, so she actually shows dogs. She's done that since she was 3 years old, and she is getting her own dog on Monday as a new show dog.
Oh, special. The family
So she is
Rein.
both doing canine triathlon and show dogs. Give them a big hand of applause, guys.
Family
All
Rein.
right.
Claes,
Oh,
Katrine, Sarah, and
holy moly,
Olivia.
what do we got there? Look at the poodle go!
She's back, she's back.
Dog. He's back, the poodle is back.
It's Louis.
It's exactly.
Yeah, and it's a poodle.
It's a big poodle. Look at
And it's
this. Look
Lea.
at him go.
She's doing the running. Actually, Lea was the same girl, if you don't register in the beginning. Now she has a K9 outfit instead of the dress she wore in the beginning. And now Louis is doing very, very good on the track.
Good. Feet. Excellent. Look at this. And you know why this is so important to show you guys? Because a lot of people say, oh, my dog is only a show dog. No, it's not. You know what your dog is? Your dog is an athlete. That means it's not just for show or a couch potato. This is dogs in motion. It's athletes, it's sport dogs. They love being dogs. They love being active. They love the connection with their owners. And this is a perfect example. It doesn't get any more perfect. Multi-champion, big poodle, show winner, you name it. And a huge athlete. Give him a big hand of applause. Everybody, I want my crew in. Come in, everybody, and give him a big hand of applause. Everybody, we need you guys in here in the main arena. This takes a lot of people.
So first of all, we got Emil and Philip, that were the OCR runners. Then we have from Dacia, we have Mike and Camilla with the golden Elsa. And then we have Jon from the army. We have Nico and Eva, that was the personal trainer and the rescue guy. And then we have the two grown-up ladies. We have Mona, 79, and Mona, 63. And then we have the family Rein, the most winning K9 family in Denmark. Give them all a big hand, Herning.
Round of applause, you guys.
And stand up, Herning, if you want to.
This, you guys, is K9 Triathlon for all. Come join the fun down at Halsey at the obstacle course.
And they should unleash their potential down there.
They should absolutely release your potential. Come on, join us at the Dansk Cup 2023. We are so much ready for you. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, Herning. Bye, Europe. See you at Halsey. Woo! Let's run, guys. We got some racing to do. Yay! Yoo-hoo! Woo! Let's go to the finish line.
Thank you so much for that, Lotte. That was an excellent presentation of what
you guys
dogs can
did
do
great.
in this environment. Dogs are not only for show, they are also for active play and games.
So awesome.
Next up, we will have Karina
That
Hornshus.
was so good. And
She
we
is
got the
a
time
dog
right.
coach
I'm happy you got it.
and veterinary nurse. And she's going to be with us in half an hour. So get something to drink and then come back to us again. It's going to be brilliant. Bye-bye.
Vi mødes lige herhen, og så mødes vi...
Welcome to the VIP lounge.
kæledyr er noget helt specielt. Fra første øjekast til et helt liv sammen. Vi deler alt og er der altid for hinanden. Agria skaber tryghed for dyr og mennesker. Vi er der for jer, hvis noget går galt. Livslang kærlighed fortjener livslang tryghed.
Well, I guess everybody can hear me now. Welcome everybody to the main ring in the European Dog Show. Thank you for inviting me. I'm very honored to be here. I'm going to talk a little about proprioception training and canine fitness, and all those stuff in front of me is just to show you some different things. So let's get into it. And I just need my clicker just a second. Thank you. This is me. My name is Karina, and this is some of the hats that I wear during my day. I spend all my day looking at dogs, so that's the perfect world for me. And now I'm here today, and I want to tell you a little about proprioception training. I got my inspiration from different, very skilled people in all over the world, actually. So I want to give my credit to all those, both from Holland and the USA and also in Denmark. These are my own inspirations. So I've got 3 dogs. I have a 13-year-old lab mix in the left corner. He's my soulmate. He's been with me for so long that I can't remember a life without him. In the middle, I have my 9.5-year-old Australian Shepherd. I got her at 2 years old. And at the right side, my 2.5-year-old Border Collie. And all of them are always ready for all my experiments. So they've been trying lots of different things. And all of them are doing proprioception training and canine fitness as well. This is what we're going to cover today, the content in what I'm going to talk about. I'm going to tell you a little about what proprioception is and what that word means. We are going to talk a little bit of the physiology. We are going to look at positions, postures, equipment, stable versus unstable. We just have an announcement. So, no dogs in hot cars. Well, I've got a few demarcations. We're not going to talk especially about puppies or seniors or injured dogs, but only healthy dogs. And I'm not going to talk about actual training plans and with reps and sets and so on. we are only going to cover a small deal of what proprioception is. I only have 1 hour. I could speak from now until Christmas, I guess. So we're only scratching the surface today. Proprioception, it's a very fine word, and there's a lot of different words to put on that particular word, and you can read from yourself. Our nervous system is filled with different receptors in our tendons and joints, and it's all about being aware of the body. It's all about training our nervous system from our brain onto our limbs and the other way around. I used to describe in an easy way proprioception as the interaction between the nervous system and the muscle. And I know it's a very, very easy way to describe it. Our nervous system is what initiates our movements, so it's all about nervous system when we are talking about proprioception training. And who would benefit from proprioception training? I would say all dogs, because it's so fundamental. But of course our sports dogs, the agility dogs, obedience dogs, hunting dogs, etc. Every dog that's doing different movements and is doing different kind of sports would benefit from proprioception training. And of course, all our show dogs. I don't know very, very much about show dogs, but I know that we like a correct stand posture, we like well-developed muscles, and we like beautiful movements. Isn't that right? Yes. The good thing about proprioception training is that we're going to take it on Danish. Great. Let's try again. Last but not least, of course, our family dogs would benefit from proprioception training. All our family dogs are dealing every day with stairs, with slippery floors, with jumping off the couch, swimming in the summer, going for walks and hikes, chasing a ball, and all those kind of accelerations and rapid change of directions and stops will put a lot of pressure to our totally normal family dogs. And most of, if I wouldn't say all of our sports dogs and show dogs are family dogs as well. So actually every dog could benefit from proprioception training. If we look a little bit at the physiology, if you can imagine a chassis frame of the car, we have the hind end, which is the closest to us here in the picture. The hind end is the engine, it's the power, it's from where the acceleration starts. It determines the speed of the dog. And then we have the front. The front is the steering. It determines the direction of the dog and it determines whether to change direction. So it has to be strong as well, because if we have a big engine, we need to be able to steer the body. In between, you see, in between those pair of wheels, we have what we call the core, and the core is the link between the engine and the steering. And if the core is weak, you can have as big an engine as you want. If you don't have a strong core, you can't promote that speed into the dog's body. The top priority reason why we're doing proprioception training, canine fitness, especially if we have sports dogs, is to prevent injuries. And injuries can be a lot of different things, in the muscles, in the skeleton, or in the tendons and ligaments. So we do proprioception and strength training in order to avoid injuries. So let's get to it. If we look a little bit on our posture and angles in a stand, I know most of you guys here today like a great stand, a proper stand. And this is my own little 2.5-year-old dog. He's not that old in this picture, so he's a little high in his back. This is a kind of optimal stand posture for a dog. We have a straight back. We have the forelimbs and the hocks perpendicular to the ground. And we have parallel paws and a horizontal chin. And when we have this at the start, we also have quite good angles in our joints. In the front, we have the shoulder down to the elbow joint, about 90 degrees, and also in the hind, from the spine to the hips, down to the knees, and further down to the hocks. The front, the steering, as we speak about before, has 60% of the dog's weight carried in the front. So it puts a lot of pressure just standing there, and it gets even more when the dog breaks or lands, or goes downhill, or changes direction, or picks something up from the floor, like a dumbbell or a stick or something. So it has to be very, very strong in the front. And as we speak about before, the hind end is the engine, and there has to be power to push down, push forward. And the core in the middle has to be strong as well to put those things together. If we look at some not so good stand positions, this is quite optimal. But if we look at some bad stand positions here, I tried to make some bad stand position pictures. In this picture, we don't have parallel paws. They are just standing like this, both on the front and the hind end. He's looking too much up, and it puts unnecessary pressure on the spine. If we look at picture 2, my treat, my reward is too close to him, so his front limbs are not perpendicular to the ground. And if you look at the hind paws paw pads are only partial in the floor, and that tells me something about an uneven weight distribution. Here, the hind end is tucked under. It's not parallel, and the hocks are definitely not perpendicular to the floor here. Here we go the other way. It's overextended joints, and hind paws are also only partial in the mat. Overextension joints puts a lot of pressure on the ligaments and joints, and it prevents use the small stabilizing muscles. We'll get a little back to that. So this is kind of how an optimal stand should look like, seen from a healthy physical point of view. The natural angles in our dogs, they are as they are when the dog is in his preferred stand position. But we can train the muscles that complement those optimal angles, and that's what canine fitness is all about. When we have those optimal angles, it creates both stability and strains, and in the same time, the body is very shock absorbing for all the rapid movements, and as we talked about before. If we look a little at the posture and angles in a sit, I know it's not what you do the most, but we can have just a little look at the sit as well. This is a quite good sit posture. We have a straight back. The head is quite high to get the straight back. We have forelimbs perpendicular to the ground. We have the knees tucked in to the body, and the hocks, hind paws and front paws are aligned. In picture 2, we have the reward too far down. You see his back curves and his forelimbs are not perpendicular, and he has to tuck his knees in a little up. And that's also what happens here. My reward is too close to him and too far down. So that creates the same bad posture as well. So all of these postures and angles and all what we talked about the last 5 minutes, it's all about the right reward placement. And that's the most important in doing these stuff. It is to know how to hold your hands, to give the reward, and we'll come back to that. When we have those nice tucked sit, we can do some quite good movements. I hope that this will work with 2 videos from a, I don't know which one to push. Are there any technical people here? Til venstre. Så går den tilbage. Måske. Play? Nej. Nej. Oh. Vil du play første video, den til venstre? Oops. When we have the right postures and position from the start, we can make quite good movements as well. And we need to have those right movements to train the right muscles. Can we have them once again? From the stand to the sit, nice tucked under. And from the sit to the down. And into the sit again. The front paws are not moving. So it takes a lot of muscles to do those kind of movements. It's rapid, strong movements in control, and that's the main thing, the control thing. Great. If we look at the down, we have a quite good down with a quite straight back. And when the dog is in a down, his hind end is flexed very much. So the hocks, the knees, and the hips are maximum flexed. And the elbows as well. The hocks and hind paws and elbows and front paws are aligned all the way. The knees are tightly tucked close to the body. And the back is straight. See it both from the top and from the side. And when you have a good start, you want to start the movie? You can make movements like this, where no feet are moving, but it takes a lot of strength to do these movements. Before we go to do all those kind of training, and if we get time on the last bit of my time here, if you have some dogs that you would like to try some of these things, we can try it out in here. But the first thing you have to think about is safety. And I guess that might be the most important slide that I have today. It's safety. Safety is number one before all this. Non-slip mats. This is some kind of non-slip floor, and what I have here is not going to slip on the ground. These were quite slippery out here, so that's why I got a mat so they won't slip. That's very important for you at home, that you have some mats or something laying on the floor so that we don't get the dogs to be hurt. Then you need to warm the dog up. You need to have some warm-up routines before you put them on equipment like this. Also, afterwards, you need to have a cool-down routine. And then you need to have some basic skills for doing this proprioception training optimal. And that's where you can look after an educated instructor to show you some of these basic skills that you need to have and basic skills your dogs need to have. The 4 basic skills that I always teach my dogs in my classes is serving treats in a special way, serving the treats so the dog don't come forward towards the reward, because if the dog is standing on these kind of material with air in it and they have to jump forward to the reward, they fall down and they might get injured. Then I have the reverse luring, and that's that the dog actually can look at a treat in my hand in a distance, so I get some stillness, because when we are using those air-filled material, they need to keep in balance, and then it's much easier for them to keep balance and to use the right muscles when they look at something. So they only have to stay in this position and keeping balance. I have some videos of that later on. Then a basic skill is also to come nice and calmly off the equipment so the dog doesn't jump. As speaked about before, if they jump down on the in a wrong kind of way, they can get hurt. And then target training, because all of this is a kind of target training. Targets that with the paws and targets with the nose is the 2 main targets that I use. Then you need to remember to go slow. If the dog hasn't tried this kind of training before, you need to go slow. Don't take too much repetitions and don't push your dog too much. You have to avoid that the dog is worn out. You have to avoid fatigue. Because when the dog's muscles are fatigued, they can't do the movement right, and then we are training something different than we think we are. And don't forget to let your dog recover. It needs to have a recovery for a day or something. Don't do this proprioception training a lot every day, because the body needs to recover. And then choose an educated instructor to help you with these things so you can get it right in the first time. If we look a little closer into the warming up and cooling down, just to give you some examples, we need to do the warm up to prepare the body for work. Of course, the muscles, the joints and the ligaments has to be warmed up and be prepared to do all those kind of movements. But we also need to prepare our nervous system. Remember, proprioception is all about our nervous system, so we need to warm that up as well. Our blood circulation and our brain, because believe me, this is also very, very mental training. It's not only physical training. It's mental training to get your body to move in different ways. They really have to be aware of the body, and it takes a lot of brain activity. So we need to get the brain prepared as well. So what I do is I walk 5 to 10 minutes in different paces, just walking around in my field or in my training room, whatever. We need to get some movement. And then I do small repetitions of sport-specific movements. And that could be from a stand to a down and up again. I just do very few reps. It could be circles, figures eight around cones, and everything that contains some movement in different directions. When I've done my training, my cooling down routines are again 5 to 10 minutes of slowly walking, just walking normal in slow pace. And I also do some stretching exercises, small stretching exercises, and I'll be giving you some different videos about that a little later. I can also give my dogs a little massage, just striking a little down the spine with my hands, just to feel them, to feel if there is any places in the spines or body that they are warmer than everybody else, anywhere else. Yes. Always use dynamic exercises in the warm-up. And if you do some of those passive stretches, it is always when the dog is really warm. Yes. We're going to look at some exercises, and in the next video I'm going to show you some of my favorite proprioception exercises. It involves balance, strength and flexibility, which can be beneficial for your show dogs, your sports dogs and also your family dogs. Yes. Remember, we're only going to cover a small deal of what proprioception also is, because it is a lot more than these fitness training exercises that we have here. But I only have 1 hour, so yes, let's get to it. Vil du afspille en video mere? Yes. We are starting with the twist and spins. It's a great warming up exercise. It holds a lot of foot placement and creates lateral flexibility in the spine. It has to be done slowly and controlled with the nose in the same height as the spine. So that is one of my warming up exercises and cooling down exercises as well. And then we have the cavalettes. It's one of my favorite. It gives the dog a lot of awareness where to place their feet. We just take it in slow pace up here so you can see what's happening. It builds up muscles, and for show dogs it also improves gaits and learn the dog to do the diagonal movement and trotting rhythmically in a natural speed. And it also teaches you handlers to move in the right rhythm for the dog as well. It's very important to have the correct measures in your dog so we can position the cavalettes to do the right movements. Then we have some balance and strength. I call it statues because the dog is standing very still on different kinds of targets. I start with the stable targets, and when the dog is able to do the exercise properly, I go further on to some more unstable. We are going to cover stable versus unstable a little later. Look at him hold his balance in his entire body just by moving his head, and nothing else but his head. And I give the treat very slowly. Then you can challenge a little more by doing a stand and walking around, and when I walk around, the dog is looking at me, turning his head. And when he's turning his head, the weight distribution shifts. Let the dog stand in 10 to 20 seconds, and then invite the dog down from the equipment. It's quite hard for the dog to stand in these positions. It trains both the hind end, the front, and the core. Remember always to help the dog to position his feet so they are in a proper square stand with the aligned back and the forelimbs and hocks perpendicular to the ground. This is a little more unstable than those targets out here are totally stable. Then we have a little unstable, and then we have a lot more instability in these one with the air in it. I don't use these a lot. I use these kind of things a lot, and then I use these kind of things once in a while. But look at him using his muscles in his entire body to keep balance. And then I invite him down, nice and easy. Then we have some flexibility exercises, a neck stretching with the nose target. I teach my dogs a freeze at my hand with his nose, and I do that because of the stillness I get. I can do the exercise nice and easy. And then I move the nose back before I click the dog and reward him. I do that to avoid rapid movements towards my reward. I do it to both sides equally, and I do it up and I do it down. This is the serving treats exercise that I talked about later. I use the nose targets instead of a treat. I know a lot of people use the cookie stretch, but I think that most dogs has a little difficult to resist a cookie right in front of them, and that can't lead to overstretching something. So I use the nose targets. It's quite easy for the dog to let go of a nose target, and I am very aware that I don't stretch the dog too much. So here he holds the stretch. You can go for holding the stretch or from 10 to 15 seconds. Then we have another flexibility, the bow, and we stretch the entire front, the elbows and the shoulder joints, and it's very important that the dogs are stretching, you see there, his whole front, so all joints have to be over 90 degrees, so they have to be open to do the stretch in the muscles. Yes. Sådan. Great. Let's have a little talk about equipment. And I took a lot of equipment with me today so you can see what I am talking about. All equipment should be matched the dog's size and ability of doing this training. And that's why when I do the cavalettis in my classes, I have normally sized cavalettis, and I've made some small-sized cavalettis as well. I have one class where I've got a Pomeranian and a big Labrador on the same class, and they can't go for the same equipment. So I go for platforms in this size to platforms in this little bit size. And then you have to be aware of that the equipment needs to fit the dog. Yes, the dogs need to be able to do the particular movement on that equipment. So if you need to teach the dog a down on a platform like this, you have to be aware that when the dog is lying down, it's a little longer than when it's standing up. If you choose targets that are too high, it may result in some overextended limbs, so you have to find the high where the dog is able to stand again with his forelimbs and his hocks perpendicular to the floor and with a straight back. If the targets are too low, they might be too hard for the dog to find with its paws, and the dog can push the target a little away and get to be standing in also an overextended way. And that's not optional. You have to watch out for the sexiness, because all of these great things here, it's great things, and they look very sexy and nice, and I need to have it all, but we need to use that equipment that fits the dog's ability to, and fits what we are going to train on. That's very important. If we look at some sizes and shapes of those platforms, this is what I mean. For this dog in a stand position, this platform is actually a little too wide. You see there is quite much space on her left side. But if we go for a sit, the same platform would be proper for her. She's 9 years old, so it's okay. This platform's wideness is perfectly for a sit, and a little too wide for a stand, if we need to challenge them a little. And the last picture is a young dog, so he can do a nice tucked sit, where he tucks his limbs into his body, and is using his muscle to keep balance and to keep position. So this is an okay big platform for this use. When we look at the stable versus unstable surfaces, You see here there's a lot of different things. And the stable surfaces is always where I start, because it teaches the dog about foot placement. It teaches the dog to stand and do the positions correctly, do the movements correctly. And we can train a better movement, a better dynamic movement when the dogs are on stable surfaces. So we build up the larger muscle groups on stable surfaces and as smaller muscle groups on the unstable. We need to get the exercise and movement right before we introduce unstable surfaces. The unstable surface is straining all the profound muscles near the skeleton to keep balance. So there are not so much movement on those, but there's movement all the time, and all those small muscles are in movement all the time. So we can't expect our dogs to do the same movement in unstable surfaces as we can on the stable ones. Those small muscles is working constantly, so they can't get a faster fatigue. You have to be aware of that. And when we are doing those instability muscle groups, we're working on their balance more than on their strength. In my classes, called Get in Shape, Stay in Shape, yeah, my proprioception classes, I have 4 pillars that I work from, and it's coordination, balance, flexibility, and strength. And everything is in a big soup of different things in different exercises, and we are not working on only balance or only strength. It all covers each other. And as I said earlier, we're only scratching the surface in the proprioception universe with what I have to tell today, and what I can show you if some of you want to try. There are a lot more to proprioception than this, but we are training their movements, their balance, their sensory cells, their motoric nervous cells, and the vestibular sense, the sense of balance, liberance sense. So it has to be built up to the dog's ability, to the particular dog that's in front of you. So if I got to summarize what I've talked about today, we need a strong and healthy body without injuries, and that's why we're doing the fitness, the proprioception training, is to avoid injuries. It's for sports dogs, our show dogs, our family dogs, every dog can benefit from this training. And it is a very supportive training to all other dog sports to keep the body healthy. It boosts the dog's self-confidence, not only while they're doing it, but also in their life during the day as well. And the dog loves it. I haven't met a dog that didn't like this kind of training, and either if you have a dog that's not very motivated for different kind of dog sports, try this, because they love it. And it can be very, very, very much, that's why it's always is fun. Always remember safety. Always remember to train the dog in front of you. That's the most important thing. So thank you for your time. If some of you guys out here want to try some of these things in here, you're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Karina. It was very nice to learn a bit about proprioception. Now we have a small break where you're welcome to come up into the ring and try some of the equipment out. And then we will start again at 11:30. So in about half an hour, where the tricks dogs will come and show you how to do different dog tricks and how you can learn your dog different tricks. So thank you for today. I'll see you in half an hour.
ding dong. Og så får vi også den her meddelelse på dansk. Det er sådan, at der er rigtig mange stande i området, faktisk over 70 stande. En stor del af dem, de ligger i Herning. Her kan man blandt andet finde Dansk Kennel Klubs show og telefonstand, og man kan også finde vores familiestand, hvor børn kan gå hen og blive bestiftet med rigtig mange sjove sysler, og man kan også klare en hund, og der er rigtig mange sjove ting, man kan foretage sig i vores familiestand. Så gå en tur ind herinde og kig på alle de gode tilbud og se, hvad der rører sig. Det er også her, hvor vi har Storring og i Ringsiden. I Storring, der har vi jo i KS2 hovedsponsorer, at her
Kæledyr er noget helt specielt. Fra første øjekast til et helt liv sammen. Vi deler alt og er der altid for hinanden. Agria skaber tryghed for dyr og mennesker. Vi er der for jer, hvis noget går galt. Livslang kærlighed fortjener livslang tryghed.
Hello again, and we are back here in the main ring. Now we are going to see some dogs do a lot of tricks. We have quite a lot of dogs here that's going to show you some dog tricks and show you how to train them and how they're done. And to show them and to talk you through it, we have Sara Zachariasen. She works here at DKK and is a dog trainer and a consultant. And if you were here in the early morning hours, you would have heard her talk about yesterday impulse control, and today you talked about voluntary handling. So, bit a warm welcome to Sarah and all the dogs.
Hello? Yes! Now we're here. We are going to show you some tricks. And for that, I have a lot of beautiful, make a warm welcome for all the dogs. Come on in and go around so we can make a big round of applause for our beautiful and very trained dogs here. We have a very good variation of dogs that is going to show you a lot of tricks. They will just go around here and you can see them all. We have a lot of different dogs and we are going to show you some tricks. Yes. The first trick we are going to show you is the one called Sit Pretty, or called teddy bear, or you can call it squirrel. It doesn't matter what you call it, but it's basically where the dog have the bottom in the ground, and then they will have, just stand out. So, yeah, perfect. Yes, so it will be, the first trick here is going to be Sit Pretty. And it's about the dog having the bottom in the ground, and they will lift their upper body. It is a very good trick for making the strength for the dog in the core muscles, and it will keep the dog healthy. We have Christian here yesterday talking about keeping the dog fit, and he was showing this trick where you can see, and he was saying that this trick will prolong the dog's life because the body will be much more strengthened than if it doesn't do it. You can learn this trick in several ways. You can lure the trick with a treat in front of the nose. On that way, you will have a very good control what the dog is doing. You can also target it, where you use your target hand, where the dog puts the target, the nose target on. This trick, you can also make a lot of other tricks to do, where the dog will make the muscles in the body. So you can make high five, or you can make high 10, or stuff like that. The next trick we will do is the one called dance, twist, spin, yes. And you can warm up the dog because the dog uses all the big muscles in the body. So it is a very nice trick to do. Yes, you can learn this trick in several of ways too. You can lure it with a treat in front of the nose, where you put the treat in front of the nose and then goes around. The first time you have to give the treat immediately, where the dog shifts the weight to one of the sides. And then you can lure more and more around. And afterwards, you can slowly take out the treat and the hand, so the dog can do it more and more on its own. It's a very hard one to take the treat out of, to take the lure out. So it's a very hard thing to do, to spin around by yourself while the dog do it, like the Landseer here. It's very hard to learn, and it's very hard for the dog to do where you have the back to the dog. There's many dogs that can't do that because they are used to be rewarded in front of you. You can also shape this trick. You will often do that from where you sit down and look about one of the sides to the dog. Then you will reward in the movement direction when the dog shifts its weight to one of the sides. And slowly you will move, the dog will move the whole way around. Yes. You can also target this one. You can both do it with a target stick or with your target hand, where you guide the dog around with that target. Yeah. The next trick is one of my favorite. It's shake paws. On Danish, it's called gipote. You shake the dog's paw. You can say hello to the dog. That's the one. There will be many children like this very much, because you can say hello to the dog in a kind of man kind of way. It's a trick. There's a lot of dogs that knows. They know this trick, a lot of dogs. And it's very easy to learn. It's a foundation trick. There's a lot of tricks which is built up from this trick, like waving or cross the paws or hold around the cane or stuff like that. So this trick, you can it's a good trick to learn the signs from both the verbal cue and the visual cue, because it's primarily on the visual cue, because you put the hand around front of the dog and then they will put the paw inside the hand. And it's very hard for some dogs to do it without the visual cue. So you can play a lot with that thing. You can learn this trick by luring. You can lure it to put the treat in your hand with a closed hand, and then the dog will press, put the paw on the hand because they want the treat, and then you can open the hand. Slowly you can remove the treat from the hand. You can also shape it by putting the hand in front of the dog and just wait to see if the dog is putting the paw in your hand. You can say that this will be a target on its own, because it will be a paw target just in the hand. And as I said, it's a foundation trick that is used for a lot of tricks. Yes. The next one is a figure of 8. A figure of 8 between the legs. This one is a good one for to warm up the whole body. You can use it in your warm-up ritual if you do some dog sports. It could be agility, obedience, rally obedience, heel work to music, or stuff like that. It's a good one because the dog will warm up the whole body. And as you see with the border collie here, you can get a lot of movement in the whole body. You can get a lot of flow in this trick, and it's a good trick to make your relation to the dog closer, because you have to have a lot of confidence between you, and the dog have to trust you a lot, because it has to go in between your legs. And many dogs, especially small breeds like the Chihuahua, will find that very intimidating to go between the legs. It can be a very hard trick to do if you have a bigger dog, like the Landseer. So there you have to be more athletic because you have to have it all inside your legs. So yes, many dogs will find this like a reward by itself, especially movement-stimulated dog like Border Collies or Aussies. And therefore you can reward your dog in a walk by just doing this figure of 8. It's also a good proximity game. Proximity, like you can get the dog go closer. So if you have a dog that has a hard time coming back in the recall, this game would be a perfect game because you can just say, come on, make a figure of 8, and then they will come back from the recall and just have a fun game together. The next one is roll around. It's also one of the three exercises Christian talked about yesterday, which will prolong the dog's life. It's where the dog lay on the ground and roll around. They actually do need a lot of muscles to do this trick because they use the whole body, and it's very hard for them to do that. When your dog can do this roll around, your dog can do it, when you have done it a lot of times, you can do it on a small hill or stuff like that, and then they will build up the core muscles a lot more. It will prevent injury in many ways. So if you have a sport dog or if you have a show dog, it's a very good trick to use. It's a very hard one to get that much confidence in, like the red Border Collie, and so much distant on it, because we often learn this trick by luring it. You can see over here with the Aussie how you can lure this trick. You can put a treat in front of the nose and then make the dog go around by showing it the way. The first time you will do this trick, you actually have the first step is to lay on the side. It's a very hard thing for some dogs to do because you have to have the trust to just laying on the side. So it will be the first thing, it will be to lure him on the side, and then you will take the treat to the shoulder, and they will put more weight over to the back. And therefore you can just roll around. You can also use your target hand or a target stick to learn this trick, where you show the dog the way with a target. Yes. The next trick we want to show you is the dog is going around the handler. It's a trick you use in both heel work to music, dog dancing, and it's also one you use in rally obedience. It's also a good trick to do to warm up the whole body. As the Chesapeake Bay Retriever shows here, you can have a visual sign. You can also do it on a verbal cue, but it's very hard to do on a verbal cue. The Golden Retriever over here, the handler was going around before, and it can be a very hard thing to do because when you do that, the dog doesn't have a place to focus on. So it can be a hard thing. You can learn this trick in several ways. You can shape this trick by just having the dog somewhere around you, and then you can look just in front of the dog. And when the dog looks where you look, you will just reward it in the movement direction. And on that note, you can just take a little more and a little more and a little more to get the whole circle around. When you do movement tricks like this, you always have to reward in the movement direction. It means when the dogs go around, you will just reward a little bit in front of it, so they know where to go. It will it was how you want to shape it, if you want to shape it. You can also lure this trick by having treats in both of your hands and just take it around and reward the whole way around the dog. Yes. The next trick is standing on your feet. It's a very fun party trick, and it's an impressive one because you have to have a lot of trust between you. You also have to have a lot of precision. The dog has to have a big reward history on target defeats, so it will be a target on its own. And on that note, we can talk about a little bit about reward. So, on this trick, you have to reward the dog to go between your legs from the start. Thereafter, you have to take your feet inside, because on that way, your dog cannot not target your feet. Because when they go into your legs, they will put that feet on your feet. So you start there, and when the dog targets your feet immediately when it goes between your legs, you can just put out your feet a little more, and then you can stand on the same place and just move your feet a little bit. Thereafter, you can move your feet a lot, and then you can start walking. It's a very fun trick, and it needs a lot of precision from both you and dog together, because you have to work together. So you have to reward the dog in position, because this trick, you have to have a lot of value inside the position. When you have been concentrating in this place a lot, thereafter, it will be nice to have a reward that is a little more feisty, you know, a little more energetic. And then you can take the toy and play with the dog. We use a lot of toys and rewards in this trick training, and therefore it is a good thing to build up the relationship between you and the dog. You can use tricks for everything. You can use tricks for get a better recall, and you can use trick for get a better show dog. Yes. The next trick is going backwards. So this trick is a very good trick to learn, because they will get a lot of body control, and they will get a lot of precision if you train it right. It basically where the dog just going the other way around, as you can see here. The dog will go away from you, and it's a very hard thing to do because you have the treats. So it's a good thing to think about where you reward in this trick. So it can be a nice way to reward behind the dog, so the dog have a reward history behind it. You can learn this trick in several ways again. You can shape it, you can lure it, and you can target it. If you want to target it, you can use a target your dog knows already. It could be the basket your dog is sleeping in. It could be the cage. It could be a hind leg target or front paw target. It depends on what your dog already knew. You have the dog on the target, and you will feed the dog on the target several of times. And afterwards, you just drop a treat. And the dog will just take the treat and go hind to the basket or cage or where the target was. So it will be like a magnetic to the dog to go back to. You can also lure this trick. Take the treat in your hand and then put it upwards to the ear. When the dog goes after the treat, it will put the weight over to the hind leg, and then you have the first movement. Afterwards, you put the treat over to the other ear, and then you will have the next movement. And on that way, you will have a backwards movement. You can also shape this trick. Often you will put your dog in front of you, and you will sit down and just look behind the dog. And then the dog will be like, "What's that?" And the dog will already have a backwards movement. You can also do it on the sides. You can do it on the heel side, or you could do it on the left or the right side, like a heel work over there. It's also a way to show this trick, or to learn this trick. If your dog knows its position very well, it will follow you in every direction. Yes. The last trick is playing dead. And it's also a very party trick, a show trick, you can say. You can play dead in two kind of ways. You can lay on the side, or you can lay on your back. Oh. You can lay on the side, or you can lay on the back. It will be like the dog is dead. As I said, when we had roll around, it is a very hard thing to some dogs to lay on the side, because it has to have a lot of trust in us, so it can be very hard. You can actually learn the dog this trick by saying bang to the dog, and then it will be like shooting the dog, and it's very funny. Yes. I said the last trick, but we have a trick more. I just forgot. And it will be go around the cane. It's a very popular trick in heel work to music, where the dog dances around the cane. Yes. This trick is a very fun trick to do in a routine in dog dancing. You can see over here, it's the white dog to the World Championship in heel work to music later on today. And she is going to use this broomstick in her program. And it's just where the dog spins around this cane. You can do this trick and learn this trick in several ways. You can lure it, you can shape it, you can target it. It's matter how you want to do it. It can be very hard to move by yourself, like the golden retriever over here, where you go around while the dogs go around. Because then they have to go the other way of you. They have to work independently from you. The border collie over here also shows very fine. Yes. So that was it for the trick dogs. So give them a very big round of applause. They were so so good. Thank you for coming. Yes, and then they take a bow. Very nice. Yes. Now we have a short break, and afterwards there will be the egg winner inside the main ring. So take a round, and yes,
See you.
Hvad?
Kæledyr er noget helt specielt. Fra første øjekast til et helt liv sammen. Vi deler alt og er der altid for hinanden. Agria skaber tryghed for dyr og mennesker. Vi er der for jer, hvis noget går galt. Livslang kærlighed fortjener livslang tryghed.
Your puppy will grow into a dog in several distinct stages, and sooner than you thought, they're almost grown. But right from the start, Royal Canin's puppy growth program provides everything your dog needs for the ideal foundation for a healthy life.